It is so great seeing my next guest finally make his UFC debut. He's going to be taking on Mike Jackson, UFC Fight Night, April 23rd. It is Dean Barry joining me here on the program. Dean, how are you, sir?
I'm great, buddy. It's nice to be here. I'm looking forward to having a nice chat with you.
Yeah, same here, man. It's been great to connect with you and everything like that. Now, I think for the average fan, they might not know there's some history here between you and Mike. They tried to schedule this fight last year, and then you ended up taking a fight for Titan FC. So what exactly happened? Because I think you were injured first, and then he was, or the other way around, and then now we're doing this fight almost a year later.
I was supposed to fight Mike on Fight Island the same week as McGregor. You know that they were doing the International Fight Week, so I was supposed to kick off the Irish card on the Wednesday, and then Conor was going to fight the Friday. And then I was like 10 days out from the fight or something. Then my manager called and said Mike can't get to Vegas, can't get to Fight Island. He doesn't have a passport. So I was like, "Are you joking me?" Like he didn't tell them or anything, and so that kind of rubbed me up the wrong way a bit. I was like what? Bit of an arsehole, like could have said it a while ago. And then they rescheduled us for May, and then the UFC were trying to get a visa for me, and I couldn't get one, and because I had to do an interview process, it was the long process, and with COVID they were saying I couldn't get one for like probably a few years, bro. So they had to release me, and then I had to go and travel the world, and I made sure I got the visa and I got it, and then I had to take another fight. So that's why I took that fight in December, and then they called and said now they want me to fight Mike. I think they just really wanted to get beat up, to be honest with you.
That makes sense. Well, yeah, I mean, that must have been really frustrating. Things beyond your control that's not letting you, compete in the UFC. Were you worried at all that this might not happen, this opportunity? Did that ever cross your mind?
Bro, after I fought, they told us if I got one more fight, they'd re-sign me. So I went and I took a fight. I had 4 pullouts. I was going crazy. I was originally meant to fight a really good guy, and then I ended up fighting this guy. He wasn't great, but what can you do? It was the last option for me. But then when we got home, I was like, right, to my manager, what's happening now? Like, am I signing or what's going on? He was like, Dean, I don't know. He said, like, I reached out to him. I told him that you won, you knocked the guy out again. And then they just said, congratulations, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, fuck. And then they told my manager, look, the contender series is in July. If Dean gets one more fight, he will put him on the contender series. So I was just really bummed out about the whole thing, man. I was like, I did everything they asked of me, and then I was like, found out I was having another baby, and the same day I found that out, like the UFC my manager called me and said the UFC just want to take me right now. They don't want to wait, so I couldn't
Wow.
believe it, bro.
What a day, man. That must have been one of the best days of your life.
Yeah, like up there with the other best day of my life when my son was born. So it's the two of them, two best days of my life so far. Yeah.
And you referenced that last fight in Titan. I mean, it looked like it wasn't going to happen, and then they finally got you an opponent here. 21 seconds you finished that fight, man. Where does that rank in terms of career highlights, just with what was on the line and everything else, and just, finally getting to fight? That must have been up there too, as far as career highlights.
Yeah, it was nice. Like, it was just what happened there was I was meant to fight Hugo. He was 8-4, like from Colombia, and then he pulled out. I don't know what happened, but I was already over in America. I invested thousands like to get there, and I was like, well, I'm fighting somebody. I'm not leaving here without the fight. And then another guy was 5-0. He pulled out. Then at 5-1, he pulled out. He said yes, then it fell through. So I was looking at flights to come home to Dublin, and I was like, I'm coming home, like 5,000 gone from my fight camp I just spent. And I was like, I can't leave without fighting. And the Drew fight just happened, and I was like, there was a lot on the line for me there, because imagine I went down and something happened there, and he randomly beat me or something, and he missed weight by like 12 pounds after he had been cutting. So I was like, oh, even like, this is just bollocks. But I went out and I caught him just nice there, and he just was gone. So it was nice, bro. Yeah, it was up there. But my career highlight was knocking Abdullah out from the
Yeah, I was
Middle
going to
East.
say that had to be up there too, for sure. Yeah.
Bro, he was 7-1 with like 7 finishes. He was a monster. Like, I moved up in weight to fight him, and he's like the superstar over in the Middle East. And I got like a walk off KO, knockout of the night, and all. And that was, everything was on the line for that fight for me. Like, I took that fight with a couple of weeks' notice. I was fat, out of shape. I was becoming a father, and I was like, I need to make this happen. And if I had lost that fight, I was like, right, I'm done with MMA, and I only wanted to go to the UFC. That's it. Like, I could have went into like Bellator or like another big promotion, but no, the goal is the UFC from the very beginning.
So we're talking about the Mike Jackson fight that you have in your debut here. Obviously we know he's a striker, but we haven't really seen him in a while, right? So how do you prepare for an opponent like that? I guess you just sort of, base it off what you've seen, but I mean, it could be a completely different fighter. We don't know.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm the same with everybody I fight. I don't really watch them. Like I watch it like 10 seconds, and I'm like, right, that's enough. Like I don't read too much into it. It's just another body to me. Like I fight, because the way I fight, it's more like once I just do what I do in the gym and the way I fight, my style. It's going to be very difficult for somebody to try read me, but I'm very good at reading people within a few seconds. Like roughly about 20 seconds into the fight, I'm like, right, I know what, like I have them. Do you know what I mean? I usually I can find my range and distance, and that's it. Then I'm just going to piece them up. And same with this fella, like he was chatting shit online so much, and I'm just like, I don't understand it. I'm like, bro, I'm not CM Punk. Like I'm legit like 5-time world champion. Like doing it since I come out of nappies. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, it's not gonna be one of them nights for him. Like I'm gonna go in there and it's gonna feel very quick. Like I'm gonna just put a nasty pace on him, and I'm gonna be hitting him really hard and just gonna put him away. But look, after the fight, I'm gonna shake his hand and have a drink with him, and that's it. I don't buy into all that like bad blood and stuff like that. Like it's just a sport for me, And I go in there and I do it, and I fight better that way, like that. Like I'm not coming in with any like animosity or anything like that. I'm just coming in just to put my skills against theirs, really.
Yeah, he's pretty active on social media. I was wondering, has there been any sort of back and forth on that end, maybe from his fans or your fans? Has there been anything there? Because I know, again, he's always on Twitter all the time, I see.
Yeah, like when we first originally were meant to fight each other, he was we were actually messaging each other. I reached out to him and I was like, look, best of luck. Like I kind of talk to anyone I ever fight. Like I text him when the fight side. I do message him on Instagram. Like best of luck, buddy. I hope you have a good camp along. And I just it's just the person I am. And then I was chatting with Mike, and I was like, hopefully I was chatting to him after January, and then I was like, I hope we get the fight sorted out again. And we were just being friendly with each other, and I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think he gets a very hard time. Like, and for what? Like, he fought CM Punk or whatever. But some people give him a hard time on social media, and I don't bite on that, or I don't join in on it because I'm not one to do that to people. So
Yeah.
I just ignore it all. But then like he was just chatting, saying some stuff about me like after my fight and all. He smoked me with this, that, and the other, and he knew quite well that me and him weren't even going to be fighting. Like, so he kept chatting shit. And then when the fight got announced that I was fighting him, he just went completely silent. Like I didn't, and I replied to a few of his tweets, and he didn't say anything. And I was just like, look at whatever it is, what it is. He was just chatting shit. Like, and it's no sweat to me. I don't care really, to be honest with you.
Makes sense. Training camp. Who have you mainly been working with ahead of this fight? Who are some of your main training partners?
I've been training over in Team Rhino now. Like I moved gyms and stuff. I just needed a change with my career. You know yourself, you need to change to grow, and I was just kind of going through the same motions, and I just wanted a fresh start, to be honest with you, and fresh bodies and stuff. And I'm training over with Andy Ryan. He's the head coach at Team Rhino, and at the minute it's just with everybody. Like the classes are huge. There's like the wrestling class. There's like nearly 30, 40 people in the class, so it's pretty big, and they're all really big guys. Like there's some of the main guys in there, like the Sheehan brothers. They're like 90 kilos. They're like taller than Mike Jackson, and they're actually really good pro fighters. So you get to move around with them, you get to grapple with them and stuff like that. And then Paul Redmond, he like fought in the UFC and stuff like that.
Oh, I know Paul. Yeah, great fighter.
Yeah. So I roll with Paul. He like taps me out about 20 times around. But like going with people like him is like, with Mike, all I have to do is turn up and be fit, and I'll wipe the floor with him. Like I think we're just worlds apart when it comes to that. And I think when I get into the UFC and get into the right weight class, I think I'm gonna really show. I'm worlds apart from a lot of people in there when it comes to this striking aspect of it and mixing it up. Like I'm very hard to take down, and then I have a very good defense in all them areas. So standing up, I don't think anybody will lay a finger on me. Like, well, that's what I'm hoping, anyways. But like, I'm only going to get.
No, I love it. I love it.
I have to say that, don't I? I can't.
Yeah,
say
no, of course. Hey, confidence, exuding confidence. There's something to that, right? You put it out in the world.
There's a difference with confidence and arrogance. Like, you can't be fucking arrogant about it. But I just mean, like, it's just I'm doing this. See, because a lot of people forget. Like, I'm doing this since I'm 10. Like, and because my MMA record's so low, people are kind of like, well, who the fuck is this? Like, why is he like there? But then they look me up and see like how much I've actually won from fighting. And if you're doing this your whole life, like, if it's all you know, then you're gonna be very hard to beat.
No, well said. So again, we have a little bit of time before this fight. When does the weight cut start for you? Do you have to cut much weight for welterweight?
Do you know how much I weigh right now? Right
I
now,
don't.
I'm 172 pounds right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
So
I have
do you think you
I
could ever make
well, honestly,
55 then, since you're so light?
I always that's my weight division. I
Oh
fight at
right.
50.
Okay. Yeah. That's
So
right.
if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
my first three fights, bro, they're at 155. The only reason my last few fights are heavier is because these guys are saying they won't make the weight. Can we fight at a heavier weight? And then I just don't give a shit. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll fight. I fought people at 165, 170. Like the weight doesn't matter to me. That really, like I'm 5'10". I'm pretty built enough, like for the weight division. So, but to be honest with you, I walk around about 170. Like, so I'm gonna have to put on a bit of muscle for this fight. I don't really actually. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, bro. I'll weigh in on weight and. I'll just wipe them with like my skill set, and then I'm actually planning on going to 145 after this because I make 155 easy. Like my last fight, I had to weigh in tracksuit bottoms in December, and I was 167 pounds, and I wasn't even dieting. Like I wasn't dieting. I was eating like Reese's Pieces and stuff like a couple of days out from it. So
That's crazy, man.
yeah,
That's
man, it's
nuts. So
weird.
is that in terms of the drop to featherweight, is that something you've talked to your coaches or like a nutritionist about? Like you mentioned that's sort of the goal. Is that something you've actually spoken to someone about?
Yeah. Because the boys in the UFC at 155, they're absolute monsters, bro.
And they're huge, yeah.
Even in 45, like the guys are really good, but just I think just stylistically, it's gonna like I want to do well in the UFC, and going into 55, some of the boys are just really big, man, and they're all like really good wrestlers and stuff like that. And you have a lot more. They're the same in featherweight, but you've more kind of striking styles that would suit me better than. Because obviously, like I'd have that Wonder Boy kind of style. So if you want to, if you give me the right match, I'm gonna put on a great show. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about like making the right fights for me.
How do
Coming
you
up.
see the fight? How do you see the fight playing out on April 23rd? How do you envision it going down?
Um, I haven't really thought about it. I know I'm gonna knock him out, like, but I'd say I'll knock him out in the first round. But it's just gonna I'm just gonna feel the fight out, and after the first few seconds, I'm just gonna bait him in, and then I'm just gonna knock him out straight away. Probably a head kick, I think. Because he's very slow. Like he's very slow. He's just long, and if you're long like that, like I'd probably kick him in the face really easy. So that's the plan. I'm just gonna feel him out and just set a pace and just throw a lot of fakes and shit like that, and then just knock him out, yeah, and then just go home.
I imagine the plan after this fight is, just keep active as much as you can. Is that, do you sort of have an ideal timetable, like maybe 3 fights this year, or what are you looking at? Not looking past the debut, but I'm sure you're thinking, hey, I'd like to get a couple fights in this year.
I'd love to fight. I'd love to fight 3 or 4 times. I just want to make as much money as possible right now. You know, like as I said, like I have a little baby due in September, so I'd love to fight in now and then in July, and then like hopefully take like September, October off just to be with like my partner and stuff. You know, with the baby when the baby's born. So just kind of enjoy that, and then I'd like to fight around Christmas time and then just enjoy Christmas with them. You know. I
You
think
got a
that's a
plan?
perfect time for
I
it.
was gonna say you got it all mapped out. That sounds great. And my last question,
Yeah.
we talked all about fighting here. What are some of your interests outside of fighting? Are you a sports fan? Are you watching any Netflix? You playing any video games? What do you like doing when you get that little bit of downtime?
I don't know. I'm just kind of a real simple person. Like I love being with my family and stuff and just relaxing. And sometimes I like just doing nothing. But I like going golfing. I like
Oh, nice. Now we're talking. I golf too. I love golf.
Yeah. Well, I'm shy. Like every time I tell someone I'm golfing, they're like, "Oh, how do you like?"
Oh, I'm
But
not
I'm
going to
one
ask
of
you your
the
handicap. I'm not that guy. I don't even keep track either because I'm not very good. But if you enjoy it, if you get out, I can respect that because golf's an amazing game. I love it.
I'm actually going early in the morning with my friends. So I picked, to be honest with you, I picked it up just to spend more time with them in like stuff that they do because they don't do any fighting and stuff. So I could try to get out to them. But now I fell in love with it, and then I like yeah, watching series and stuff like that. I love exercise, and that's kind of it really. But just
That's good.
simple
You
stuff,
had me
really.
at golf, so we're good there. That's awesome, and we're looking forward to this fight, man. UFC Fight Night, April 23rd. Dean, thanks so much for doing this, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, you can find me on my Instagram is Dean Barry MMA. Um, I don't know what my Twitter is.
Just search Dean Barry MMA. I'm sure they'll find it, right?
Search Deanberry MMA, yeah, and I have too many sponsors to like kind of name right off the top of my head right now. I can't even
But
think.
you're probably
make
posting
sure
those on your
tune in.
social media, right? You're posting the sponsors on your social media, so they follow you on social media. They'll see all the sponsors, right?
Yeah, all my sponsors will be on my social media. Make sure you tune in to watch the fight because I feel like I'm telling you, I feel like people are going to be so excited about this fight because they're going to be so intrigued because it's Mike and they'll be like, "Who's this new Irish guy?" So I reckon it could be an hour show stealer. That's my plan.